Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Middleware Technologies. Today we'll be looking at Linux system rules, which is a package provided by Fedora Linux to configure the Linux systems. Okay, so we will try to see like what exactly this package is and how we can utilize it in our Fedora workstation or any Linux distribution like Fedora, Red Hat or CentOS for that purpose. Okay, so this is the article which I'm going to follow in order to show you like how we can utilize the Linux system roles. Okay, so I'm currently working on Fedora workstation with two workstations. Like one is the master server, that is Ansible controller, and the other one is the Ansible node. Okay, so what is Linux system roles? Okay, so Linux system roles is a package consisting of Ansible modules and roles which we can use in order to configure and manage our Linux system. So that is the whole purpose of what this package is trying to provide to the end user, and this is really useful if you want to manage your Linux systems using Ansible. Okay, so let us try to see like how we can in this video. So I'm going to see you only one simple one basic example wherein we will try to provision a storage additional storage onto a Linux machine using this role which is provided by this package. Okay, so let us see like how we can achieve that one. So as a first step, like we need to have the Linux system rules package installed on our machine. Okay, so this is the base package which provides all the Linux rules which we can use to configure the system. So let us try to see and install this package. I have already installed it, but let me show you. So as I said, like I have two machines, that is Ansible controller and Ansible node. So I need to start up my virtual machine. So I'm using the KVM virtualization on which I have these two virtual machines spinned up. So let me start my virtual machines. Okay, so my virtual machines are up and running now. Let me log in into my Ansible controller. So this is my Ansible controller, and let me log in into my Ansible node also. So I'm just going into my Ansible control again, and from there I will go into my Ansible node. Okay, so as you can see, like I have already got my SSH passwordless key enablement already enabled, so that I'm able to log in without any password authentication. Okay, so that is the thing that you need to carry out. So let me show you all those things also. So once you have your controller and node up and running, you need to make sure the Linux system rules package is installed on the controller. So this is a package that you need to make sure that is installed on the controller node. So if you go and list this package, so this is where all the Linux system rules are getting installed. Okay, So this is the basic step that you can carry out to make sure whether your Linux system rules package is installed or not. Okay, and the next thing is, so as we are running, we are going to use this rules provided by this package. We need to have Ansible engine installed on our system. So for that purpose, we need to make sure we have the Ansible controller installed with the Ansible package. Okay. So this is the Ansible package currently that I'm using, which is installed on my machine. That is Ansible controller. Okay, so we have carried out our Linux system rules package installation and Ansible installation. Okay, so the next thing is, like I have, so as I'm using KVM virtual machines, like I do not have DNS resolution or DNS server available, so I'm just hard coding my FTDNs, like host names and IP addresses, into the etc host on each machine. Okay, so as you can see, so I have kept the IP address and the host name on of the each server, that is Ansible controller and Ansible node on each server's host file, so that I can ping each other with the host name. So I can ping ANSI node from this server, and from here I can ping ANSI control, that is the controller. Okay, it looks like I have not updated it over here, so let me update it. Okay, now it is fine. So I have my two virtual machines which I am able to ping from each one of them. Okay, so once we have the packages installed and the host name resolved, we can create our inventory file with the host name of the manager node which we want to manage. Okay, so this is the host file that by default gets installed on the Ansible controller. So as you can see, like I have updated it with the ANSI node manager node host name and grouped it under the name stack. Okay, I have already taken backup of this file, so it is always better to take a backup of any file which you are going to update in Linux. Okay, so as you can see, the backup is already available. So we have updated our inventory with the node that we want to manage in our step 4. Let us go and see like what is there in the step 5. Like as I said, we need to have SSH key based authentication enabled for manager nodes. So for that purpose, like what you can carry out is, on the controller node, like you can generate your SSH key pair using SSH keygen. Okay, so once you run this, it is going to create a set of key pairs, that is ID underscore RSA public key and ID underscore RSA private key. So in this, like we need to copy the ID underscore RSA public key to the user home directory with by updating the file node host. Okay, so you can copy it using SSH copy ID and provide the public key that we want to copy. Okay, and where we want to copy is into the home directory known hosts file under the user's home directory. Okay, on the manager node. Okay, admin @ ANSI control ANSI node. Okay, so with this public key is going to be updated in the node host file on the Ansible node. So let me show you. So as you can see, we are in. Okay, so it is going to update in authorized keys. So this is going to update in the authorized keys, not the host. Okay, so as you can see, like it is updated the public key over here. Okay, so with this, like we have configured our SSH key based password key based authentication for the manager node. Okay, so let's go into our documentation. So once we have the um, uh, Ansible setup ready, that is we are able to manage uh, we have updated the Ansible inventory and installed the package. We can try to test whether our setup is correct or not by running this simple module. Okay, so we'll be running it from the Ansible controller, where we are trying to fetch the release from the node, the release name or release version from the node. Okay, so as you can see, it has connected to the Ansible node and it has fetched the cat etc red hat release content or release version from the node. Okay, so our Ansible setup is ready. Now let us see like what roles are provided by the package that we have installed in our first step. Okay, so for this we need to have Ansible Galaxy. So I have already got my Ansible Galaxy installed. So with this we will be able to list all the packages or roles that are currently available for use. Okay, so as you can see, this shows all the Linux system roles that are currently installed on your machine, like once you have installed the package, and which are ready to be used by you. Okay, so for all this Linux so in this, like basically I'm going to use this Linux system roles storage role for provisioning like storage or a file system and attaching that to the Linux system. Okay, so let us see like how we can carry out that one. So as a first so in order to provision new file system, we need to have additional like a disk which is unpartitioned. So for that we are going to create a new virtual disk on our host machine and try to attach it to the Ansible node so that we can provision that additional disk and utilize it. Okay, so for that purpose we are going to create a new additional disk. So I'm going to carry out this activity on my host machine. So this is a command that we can use to create a image of the virtual disk. So this is a virtual disk that we are going to create, and we have provided it a name and the storage space for this virtual disk, that is 2 GB. Okay, so let me rename it to disk 2 as I have already have one disk. So okay, so it has created and formatted our disk, that is a virtual disk. So as you can see, we have created this virtual disk, but this has been created with root user, but I have my KVM virtual machines running with the ID like admin user which is already identified into the live world group. So I need to change my virtual disk ownership to admin. So let me carry out that one. Okay, so this is our virtual disk is ready. Let us try to attach this to the Ansible node virtual machine. Okay, so we are using a virtual virsh command line utility to attach a disk to node Ansible node, and the path is the current directory where the storage virtual storage is available. Let me change my name. Okay, so we need to provide the disk name or device name, so I'll give it VDB and cache is none. So let us try to run it. Okay, so there is a VDB disk with that name already available, so let me try to see and change it to VDC. Okay, so I have tried to detach my disk from the Ansible node, so it was like already available, and I'm not able to create additional virtual disk, so I have detached the VDB, the disk that was present with the device name VDB on the Ansible node right now. So this is, as you can see, like I have detached it, and now let us try to create again. Let's attach disk with VDB, so this should be fine. Okay, so now as you can see, we have attached the disk. So let me go into my machine and run sudo apt disk -l. So as you can see, we have the disk VDB with 2 GB size has been attached to the system. Okay, so this is one way we can check, or we can do parted -l using sudo, which also provides the details about our disk, the VDB, but right now it is not partitioned. Okay, so that is the thing that we need to carry out in the next step. So we have created a virtual disk and attached it to the Ansible node, and we have verified that one. So you can see, like you can verify with this command also, which is a like basically grabbing for the disk details, and then like we need to create the file system on that virtual disk. Okay, so this is the important step that we are going to carry out. So basically, creating a file system is basically creating a structure, or that is partitioning that disk, which can be utilized further. Okay, so for this, let us go into our controller node. So I have this playbook created, that is create file system. Okay, so as you can see, I'm running this on hosts with group stack, and this is the playbook which creates a file system disk with name barefs with on the disk VDB with file system ext4, but let us say like we want to create a file system xfs, as I mentioned it in the documentation. Okay, so this is going to create our xfs file system on VDB and label it with barefs name. Okay, okay, so let us try to run this with Ansible playbook. We need to pass the admin password as it requires sudo privileges. So this is now going to create our virtual partition our virtual disk and create a file system uh, of type XFS on that disk. This is going to take some time. Okay, so this is done. So you can go into the Ansible node and run the parted -l command again, and you can see the VDB disk is now partitioned with file system XFS. Okay. So now what we can do is we need to attach that disk to our we need to mount the disk basically to our Linux system so that we can use it. Okay, so this is the execution part that I have carried out, the same step that I have shown to you. And now let us see how we can mount that file system. Okay, so for that purpose also, like, I have created one more file. So as you can see, so let me delete this one. So that it will be clear. So as you can see, like, I'm using the mount module, wherein it is going to create this path /data, and it is going to attach this device dev VDB of type, let me change it, XFS, and mount it. Okay, so mounted means it is going to update the etc/fstab file, and that and it is also going to mount that file system into your system. But if you are going to put the state as present, it is just going to update the etc/fstab file. Okay, so let me update this one and try to run it. So as you can see, like, our mount is completed. So let us verify that one. So you can see dev VDB has been mounted to /data mount point. This is one way you can check, and as I said, it is going to update the etc/fstab also. So here, as you can see, it has updated this line, which basically mounts the device on every boot. Okay, and also you can see lsplk command, which also shows the VDB device has been mounted to /data mount point. Okay, so this is how, like, you can basically use the Linux system roles, as I used the storage role, and I have tried to mount, created a file system, and try to mount that file system onto the machine. So this is how you can use the roles that have been provided by that package. So there are many other roles that have been provided, and for each of them there is a documentation that is available. So let me show you. So these documentations are available in user shared doc. Okay, let me go into my controller node. So as you can see, these are all the documentation that are available for each role that have been provided. So you can see, like, there is a network, SLNX network, storage, all kind of roles are provided, which are very basic roles that you might require in order to carry out your Linux system configuration. Okay, so you can go through this readme documentation and try to understand what type of tasks that are provided by this role, so that these can be automated using the Ansible playbooks and utilize it in your environment. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you all, thanks for watching this video, and you guys have a great day.